What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Intensive Treatment, where we talk about all things Arkham related. And this week we're back again, bring you another Arkham file, I believe I'm calling. Is that what we're decided to call it? Arkham files or inmate files? I'm not sure.
I think it
I think,
was Arkham File. I
yeah.
don't know. Whatever.
Well, it would make more sense if it was Arkham file because today we're not talking about an inmate. We're talking about Nightwing. And we kind of wanted to go through in this little mini series within intensive treatment, just as we explained in the first episode, probably. We just want to go through characters that we really like and just give our opinions on them, what we like, what we don't like, and kind of the whole character, what they're about. We just want to talk about the character. Um,
Yeah.
so today we're talking about Nightwing, a character that Marvel and I both think was totally misused in the Arkhamverse, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well. Um, and he's one of my personal favorite DC characters, especially in the Bat family. He's one of my favorites, if not my favorite. Um, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about him. So,
Yeah,
Nightwing.
me too.
Where did you kind of want to start off with this one?
Well, I think just for fun that we talk about his short-term career as Robin, because it's
Yeah,
like it because in terms of continuity, they don't really give details for when major events such as the death of Dick Grayson's parents and when he became Robin. They don't really establish that. Um, I think there was some, or maybe there was a line of dialogue in the Cold Heart DLC that said something along the lines of, um, like the Flying Graysons are coming in here pretty soon. I might be
yeah,
misremembering that. It could be complete bullshit. I'm not sure. Um, but that's the only time in Origins that we're given some inclination of Dick Grayson's existence, because
yeah,
despite him showing up in the multiplayer, like that's it really for him
yeah.
as Robin.
Right.
Everything after that is just him as Nightwing, and even
Yeah.
still, we're not really sure how long he was Robin for. Uh, so
Um,
continuity.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, how I would see it is, I mean, even with the multiplayer, there's continuity errors with when that takes place and stuff that happened in between that and after that. It would doesn't make a lot of sense. But Arkham Origins is riddled with that anyway. But
Mhm.
I would say just based off of multiplayer alone into the Rocksteady games, I would say so. Uh, so it's like takes place a year after Arkham Origins, right? The multiplayer, 2 years.
I want to say within like a 2 year span, because it wouldn't really make sense being right afterwards.
Yeah,
Just just because of logic and reasoning.
yeah,
Um, so if we take that line in Cold Heart as any indication, I think we can take it that not too long afterwards, Robin's parents die, or Dick
right,
Grayson's parents die, and between then and after Blackgate, he becomes Robin.
right.
But even that's a stretch, because
Yeah,
in Blackgate, there's barely any connection between the games as is. So
right. Well, I mean, yeah, and going off of that, that would mean that he was Robin from probably maybe a year after Cold Heart, I would say, within that time span, a year or so, and then all the way up until maybe I want to say a year before Arkham Asylum. That's kind of what I want to say because we know that Jason Todd was not Robin for very long, as long as as far as I can
no,
remember. Um, and he was missing for about 6 months, I think, up until the asylum.
mm,
Um, so that would mean probably Batman didn't get a Robin right away, obviously. So I would assume there was a little bit of time in between when Dick Grayson left as Robin and before Jason Todd. So there's probably like maybe a 4 to 5 month gap in there, just based off of like what I'm thinking. I
yeah.
have no idea, but that would seem logical to me. So he was probably Robin for around maybe 4 years, 5 years, maybe
Yeah.
less, maybe probably around 4 years. Um, One thing that I never understood though is how in Origins he looks so old. Like
Yeah.
like he just looks like a grown man. Like his face looks pretty young, but he looks like a grown ass man. And obviously Batman's not super old in Arkham Origins. He's only about 40 or 41 or something in Arkham Knight. So it
So he'd be in his what, like mid 20s, early 30s type thing, like in that gap.
early 30s probably.
Yeah.
And then Robin looking like a fucking 28-year-old. Um, but he was, I mean, probably like 18, I want to say 16. I don't know, young. He would have been young.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, obviously timeline stuff is a little weird, but that is Arkham Origins is the start of the kind of story of Dick Grayson in the Arkhamverse. It's not a story, but
Yeah.
whatever we have, that's the furthest back that we can trace is Arkham Origins multiplayer.
Yeah.
And everything in between is just really speculation at
Yeah.
this point.
It's very strange, and because the continuity they've been kind of retooling with over the years, like in Origins development, it was supposed to be a 5-year gap between Origins and Asylum, but that doesn't make any sense. So, especially when you take into account um, Jason's tenure as like Jason and Tim's, time as Robin. So, like, it just nothing about it lines up whatsoever. So,
And the Batgirl DLC screws everything up um, with the timeline thing and who was Robin when. Makes literally no sense.
yeah.
So
After Origins, because I guess we're going to go chronologically here. There's no mention in Asylum at all, not even in the character bios. He doesn't even get one. Uh, and then in Arkham City, he's a playable character, but that's it. Like, there's no mention of him in the game, like besides like some poster of the Flying Graysons. Besides that, there's no mention of Nightwing anywhere.
No. Which as well doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then obviously, well, let's get into Nightwing as a playable character, just a little bit. So the issue I have with him being a playable character is not that he's a playable character, but that we don't get any sort of references, like you were saying. Like there's nothing, and he's just kind of like put into the game, and he's awesome to play as. I love playing as Nightwing, but it kind of makes no sense at all. Like Robin makes sense, Catwoman makes sense, Batman makes sense, but Nightwing's just there. And usually the challenge maps have some kind of connection to the story in Arkham City. They all do. Each Predator map is a Predator map you play in the game at a certain point. Same with the combat maps. But Nightwing's just shoehorned in, I feel like, just to put Nightwing in, to say, I guess he exists in this universe.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to like hear his voice or get like Alfred to mention him at least on a larger scale, so that when he becomes a playable character, it makes sense. Even a DLC or something would have been really good with Nightwing in Arkham City, or have him in Harley Quinn's Revenge, have him make an appearance. So that's what I would say about his whole tenure in Arkham City.
Yeah, I would agree too. I think it's just because like I think in the story it would have been nice to have some sort of acknowledgement, like when you finish the Ra's al Ghul fight and you get a call from Robin at the hospital. It would have been nice to be like, oh yeah, Nightwing's here too, and like maybe have a couple lines with him, just to have some inclination of him being there. But besides that, you're right, he was just kind of shoehorned in. And like even with this challenge maps, we can't really say that there's much connection to the story. Like there was a plot that was in the comics where the Tiger Guards ransack Arkham, or not Arkham, Wayne Manor, and
Yes.
it was Nightwing and Robin that had to protect Alfred and all that. But that's after the fact. We can't really count that as canon because those comics are all over the place too. So, uh, but yeah, besides that, he's just there. So, I will say though, he is probably my second favorite character to play as in the challenge maps,
Yeah.
or just in the series in general.
I agree with that. I agree. Um, and I mean, moving on to like him being more playable and being fun to play as, he was great in Arkham City, but he's really fun in Arkham Knight. Um,
Yeah.
and Arkham Knight, he finally gets sort of a story. We don't really get a story, but we get to see him a little bit. He gets that really underwhelming side mission with Penguin, um, where you dual play with him. Um, he should have been used way more. He's used once in the story, um, only as usage for to track a penguin place and to be given the disruptor. Um,
Mm-hmm.
other than
Yeah.
that, he has no story, no development. We don't know anything about him. Um, yeah, it's a lost cause really with his character, and it's unfortunate. I'm glad he was used, but he wasn't used really uh, to the extent I would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, especially he's probably my favorite Bat Family character, um, and it's a shame that he was just misused pretty terribly.
Yeah. It's weird too because when you first meet him, and you talk about, like you talked about Barbara and stuff, you can definitely tell that there's some sort of connection there
Right.
between him and Babs. And then after that, they just brushed over it, and it's like, oh, we're gonna do this, thing with Penguin, have it turn into a side mission plot, and that's it. I,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and then like his role in the story is just gone. Like you said, he gives you the disruptor, and then he just leaves. Um, if you don't do the side mission, so
Yep.
it makes you wonder why they felt the need to bring him in. Like what was the point of him actually being there?
Yeah.
Um, so like they could have like swapped him out with any other Bat Family person. Like you could have swapped him with let's say Kate Kane, because she exists in the games, and
Mm-hmm.
it barely would have made a difference. So
Yeah, like they could have used somebody who we've never seen before and make a cool Easter egg out of it. But they
yeah.
used him, and they had a huge opportunity there. Um, and I think now's a good time to kind of talk about their supposed usage of him in the DLC, the GCPD lockdown thing, um, the Nightwing DLC mission, story pack, story. What a story. Um, where
Yeah.
Nightwing just another Penguin thing. Um, I would have liked to see him go against somebody else besides the Penguin in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't know how long after Arkham Knight this takes place, but I think it seems to be a day because the city is still evacuated and it's kind of getting brighter out. But
Yeah.
um,
It's definitely like not too far afterwards um because when you're talking to Lucius, he mentions the fact that Tim and Barb are still on their honeymoon. So it's
yeah,
um it's definitely between like a day and maybe like a few weeks or like something along those lines. But
yeah.
uh, by the way, that Tim and Bab thing, I rant about that another day.
It's interesting. Like if they went on their honeymoon the day after because Robin got shot in the chest, he's just like, "Oh yeah, let's go to the Bahamas, babe," and then
Yeah.
leaves. But
Yeah. That, or unless that the Robin DLC is, I guess, after the Nightwing one. It's hard to say, but
yeah,
uh, I don't know.
But yeah, that story pack or lack thereof story is basically just Nightwing fighting Penguin's forces until he can get to the Penguin himself, and it's literally just a Predator map with a couple combat spots, with no story at all. You're just stopping the Penguin again.
Yeah, it's just barely a story.
It, I mean, obviously those story packs we could rant about another day,
Yeah.
but all of the story packs have that same problem where it's just literally Predator and combat maps, and then you just have like a goal to like just stop somebody, and that's it. There's no actual development of character. No, like if they could have even done a Nightwing prequel. They could have done a Robin story pack with Dick Grayson or something. Um, a lot of options, and it's sad that the longest one we got was the Batgirl DLC, and that's only an hour and like 15 minutes.
Yeah, just barely.
Yeah, and like Nightwing would have been a great time to like give us like a cold heart style DLC story. But like, I mean, make it 2-3 hours even. Like Nightwing, it would have been cool to experience that. See how he
Yeah.
navigates, go to Bloodhaven, be able to explore Bloodhaven. Like it's a shame.
Hmm.
Too many lost opportunities.
I think we can pretty much sum up Nightwing's involvement in canon as a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
That's the
Yep.
perfect disclaimer for him.
Yeah.
Speaking of missed opportunities, because a lot of the other characters, they get a whole plethora of costumes to use, and Nightwing always gets the short end of the stick with every game that he's in.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. It's a shame. I mean, the suits we got in Night were good, but there's so many suits they could have used. They could have used the '90s suit. They could have used the '70s suit. They could have brought the animated series suit back and given him the mullet this time.
yeah,
Um, it's like there's a Nightwing has some awesome suits, and they didn't use any of the awesome ones. They used some okay ones, like the City one's great. I love the Arkham City suit. Um,
yeah,
but like New 52, it's like it's Nightwing with red instead of blue. Like it's cool, but it's not like that unique of a suit.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and I don't really think they gave him. It was just those ones.
yeah, nothing else.
uh, yeah, especially
Um,
for this, like, because this is like they set this up as like the finale of the series, so you think they would have gone all out with everyone, but
that thing was not a finale. That was a cliffhanger ending with no ending.
yeah. Uh,
But
yeah, such a
I
shame.
th- I think to kind of recap our thoughts of Nightwing is obviously Marvel said it's a missed opportunity. His whole character thing was a missed opportunity. The DLC, the character himself, the costumes, everything was a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
And it's really a shame that we didn't get more of arguably the best Bat Family member and the original Robin. Um,
yeah.
so and we never even got to see him as Robin, the original
No,
Robin.
no.
We got the worst Robin possible. So two of the worst Robins. We got a whiny little brat, and we got an inexperienced guy who's
40-year
hitting
old,
on Babs. Yeah,
an
hitting on
inexperienced
Babs.
40-year-old. Another
Hitting
thing
on
I
her.
find really sad about it is that whenever he does show up on screen, like he's a blast. Like I love his character. He's
Mm-hmm.
everything I wanted out of Nightwing in the games, and
Yep.
like he's really funny. He's witty, and when he can be serious, he you know does that really well. And I just wish we could have got more of that. Just
Yeah.
give him enough leg room to kind of shine. But nope.
I kind of wanted to touch on too, character moments of Nightwing. Um, so what's one of your favorite character moments in Arkham Knight from Nightwing?
Um,
Not that there's many,
yeah, no, I was about to say
but
there's not a whole lot to pick from, but um, I think for me it would have to be that last chat that he has with Bruce, like when Bruce is doing his whole, this is the end spiel, and Nightwing, he's just kind of like, oh, he's like, you're Batman, you'll get over this, and he's just kind of blowing it off, and then right after, like when he's just about to leave, my favorite part is Bruce is like, Dick, and he's just like, I won't let you down. Like, there's that moment of sincerity, and
yeah,
it's so well done.
yeah.
But
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Um, that moment, I love how he's just saying, "You don't want me to just steal the limelight." I know what you're trying to do, Bruce. Um, and it cut to me. It shows the maturity of Nightwing. Unfortunately, the maturity that we never got to see happen.
yeah,
Um, because that would have been great to kind of see the development of a young, kind of cocky Nightwing into this guy who, in the back of his mind, knows that Batman is over, but still manages to make jokes. But when it's all said and done, he realizes that it is over. And I feel like it's a moment in his character where it's like he almost doesn't want to believe it. And then Batman's moment where he says, Dick, it's like, it's real. I
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
And I
he
won't let you
understands.
down. And I love the fact that he is very much like Batman more than a lot of people think. I mean, he didn't even look back at Batman. He didn't hug him or shake his hand. He just said, I won't let you down and grappled away. Um, Never to see Batman again, as far as
Mm-hmm.
we know. So I
Yeah,
think that's a very strong, powerful character moment that unfortunately had no build up um, because of the lack of
yeah,
character.
yeah,
But
no build up.
you're right. I mean, every moment he's on the game screen, he's awesome. I love his little side comments. Um, I love his combat. I love his conversations with Batman. It's great. Um,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah,
when I play with him and like as him in the game, especially in the dual play missions, you can feel a sense of like this guy is Batman's other better half
mm-hmm.
because of their chemistry. So that's something I really love that they actually did really well in Arkham Knight. Um, but yeah, just not used enough. Man, it's a bummer.
I just thought of another one of my favorite moments, and it's actually from the Lockdown DLC.
Oh, okay.
Where, yeah, there's a part where it's right when you finish the stealth section.
Mhm.
Um, he gets the power back onto the elevator, and Lucius is like, "Oh, though, there's men on the roof, and Penguin will be out here pretty soon." Like, he's like, "I can hold the elevator, but I don't have much time." And Nightwing's like, "Okay, I'll go take care of it." And Lucius, turn the lights back off. Like, it's just fucking with Penguin.
I love that part.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I, I think it's pretty funny too when when Penguin gets out, he starts he acts like he's one of his guards. He goes, "Hey, boss." That's such a Nightwing thing to do. Like, "Hey,
yeah.
boss, I'm outside. It's stuck."
He's like,
Like,
"Where's
are you
Nightwing?"
kidding me? Yeah, we got him, sir.
At the very end, he's like, he's like, "We got
Walk,
Nightwing here," and he
yeah,
wants to
and he
say hello
walks up.
and such.
Yeah, he, oh, I'm gonna say hello, and then he walks up and he's like, "Oh, sod off." I thought that was great. Oh, I love it. So yeah, I think that's all I really have to say regarding Nightwing's longevity in the Arkham games, or
Yeah,
two of them.
yeah. Like we said, there's not really much to say about Nightwing, just of how just underutilized he was. There is one question I did wanted to ask you because I saw this somewhere else and I wanted to get your opinion on it. if Batman shows up in Justice League or in Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, do you think it'll be Nightwing under the cowl or Tim Drake?
Ooh, where'd Bruce go? What about Bruce?
Oh, I wonder. I wonder the same thing.
So, it's a good question. I would hope it would be Nightwing, but part of me feels like Rocksteady would do the dumb decision and go the Tim Drake route because he was the Robin in the Arkham games. And they already screwed Robin up enough in the Arkham games. I don't think they need Tim Drake as Batman. But if it was Nightwing, I would love that. But
Yeah,
I'm hoping it's Nightwing. So
yeah, I feel the exact same way. If Batman shows up, which we still don't know. I mean, they might cameo him, but you never know.
I mean, do you think Bruce Wayne would possibly be Batman?
That's hard to say given the ending of Night and how that all just kind of goes.
But I mean, he's still Batman in a way.
I guess so.
I mean, he's not Batman like we know him, but he's Scarecrow Man, Scarecrow Bat.
He's Scarecrow.
He's Batgirl. He's Batgirl.
Batgirl. I like that.
But out of anybody to see, I kind of would like to see Dick. Kind of. I would love to see Dick. That doesn't sound right. But and it would be nice too if Dick was Batman in the game. It could even lead into like a conversation of insight of like what the hell happened at the end of Night. What went down? I doubt they would give like a full thing, but that would be really cool. Kind of like whatever happened to Batman. And him kind of say like, oh well, or keep it mysterious. Who knows?
No.
But yeah, Dick all the way.
Yeah, sure.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say on the topic. I think I said my part.
As Austin Powers said, I'm spent. So, yeah, baby, we'll see you on the next episode of Intensive Treatment. Yeah, we'll see you on. That's going to do it for today's episode, I think, guys. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of Nightwing as a character, what you think of his challenge maps, his skins, just whatever you think about Nightwing, put it down there. Also follow us on Twitter. You can talk to us on there. We sometimes post things. And like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you all in the next one and stay locked up, as Marvel always says.